Who really would have thought that merely 13 years after Halo 2 found its way to PC via Halo 2 Vista, we would be getting a remastered version of what many would contend to be the greatest Halo game ever, ported back to PC. I know I never imagined something like this coming true back in those days when I was playing Halo 2 Vista, getting them Xbox Live games for Windows Live achievements. Yeah, not me. Nah. But I digress. Halo 2, in a way, is one of the more unique Halo multiplayer experiences. Halo 2 is jam-packed with button combos that raise the skill ceiling for multiplayer, a switch from Combat Evolved's projectile system to a hit scan system for the bullet projectiles themselves, and the introduction of playable elites, just to name a few unique features that were introduced with the game. If you've been following my channel for a while, then you know I've already made a video about Halo 2 Vista and its influence on the franchise, especially the franchise's limited dabbling in the PC market. But now 343 Industries is attempting to bring all of Halo's Xbox glory to the PC. And, as an insider, I get to help them test and mold this experience for the broader PC community's consumption later on. We've tested and received the retail builds for both Halo Reach and Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Now we're in the process of testing Halo 2 Anniversary, the first of the two main games that I would argue a majority of the player base are most excited for. This first flight, which I'm going to highlight the features, bugs, and my opinions regarding, tested more than just Halo 2 Anniversary campaign and multiplayer. This flight also included a test run of Theater with PC map controls, which I will cover alongside the main substance of this flight. To sum up this introduction, Halo 2 Anniversary's PC flight has concluded, and I'm going to review the features it included, how it played and performed, and my opinions on what was done right, what was done wrong, and what I would like to see added and or changed. I will also be reviewing the current build of Theater and give my opinions on that as well. So, without further ado, let's talk about Halo 2 Anniversary and how MCC on PC will never be the same. First things first, I will be breaking down this review into sections that cover each individual segment of the flight. And what better place to start than with what really drew me into Halo, the campaign. The missions on offer for Halo 2 Anniversary's flight were Metropolis, the Oracle, Delta Halo, Quarantine, ironic, and Gravemind. You could play these levels on any difficulty and with any skulls you wanted enabled, which in Halo 2 makes for a wacky experience when you combine a bunch of the non-scoring skulls like Sputnik, Boom, Grunt Funeral, skulls like that, because of how Halo 2's physics work. Off the bat, one thing that I noticed was that the loading times were unusually long. For example, on Halo Reach or Halo CEA on PC, my mission loading times were incredibly short. Basically as close as you can get to non-existent. I have the MCC installed on a solid state drive. But with Halo 2, it seemed to hang on what I assumed to be the final loading segment, so to speak, because the loading bar would be full for sometimes up to a whole minute before the mission actually launched. A couple of other performance-related things I would like to touch on are that the transition between classic and anniversary graphics is smooth as butter, and saw pretty much no stutters or micro stutters even during the first switch of a level, which sometimes occurred on the Xbox version. The first time you switch graphics during a level, it might stutter a little bit, or or freeze for like a half a second or something. However, in relation to stutters and micro stutters, I did notice a few of them occurring when loading into new sections of a level, particularly when playing in anniversary graphics. A known issue, but one that I still want to highlight was how the mid-mission music was overwhelmingly loud compared to the actual game audio. So the music will be blaring and you can barely hear like your guns or enemy dialogue or anything. This was mostly apparent in Anniversary graphics, not really in Classic. If I recall correctly, this was also an issue on the Xbox version of Halo 2 Anniversary for a while. I don't know if it eventually got fixed or if it's still an issue. I haven't really played Halo 2's campaign on Xbox in a long time. In a very long time. There was also an audio glitch that occurred during the Mausoleum fight on Gravemine, where when you switched graphics while the music, like Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin or whatever the Anniversary song was, if you switched while the music was playing, whatever graphics you switched to, whether it be Anniversary or Classic, it would just be silent. There would be no music. This did not occur 100% of the time. I'm pretty sure I played Quarantine Zone. Well, I did play Quarantine Zone, but I'm pretty sure I played Gravemine probably 5 or 6 times all the way through, and it only happened like once maybe, I think twice. So, you know, it's not a big issue, and it's not a game-breaking issue by any means, but it is something that I noticed and reported. One thing that I want to say now, which I probably should have said at the beginning, but is that all of the issues that I talk about, and even some of the ones that I don't touch in this video, I created tickets in the insider support thing forum. Like, I have submitted a ton of tickets, of course after checking the known issue thing, so I'm not just saying them here. They have been reported to 343, and I'm just mentioning them in this video. But I digress. A small graphical issue I also noticed was that the muzzle flash for the plasma rifle and brute plasma rifle was absolutely blinding in Anniversary graphics. However, I can't recall if it was like this on the Xbox version as well or not. You know, like I said, I haven't played Halo 2's campaign on the MCC on Xbox in a long time. So I don't know if these were just carried over from the Xbox version or if they are new little bugs or glitches for the flight. Another thing that kind of was glossed over for the most part was that 343 Industries was testing a new challenge system for the Master Chief Collection, similar in style and loosely based on that that was present in Halo Reach. This challenge system in the flight is exclusive to the campaign mode, so there's no multiplayer challenges or anything. However, I could not for the life of me find the menu that allows me to look at these challenges, to see what they are, or anything. The only indication that these challenges were even present were the fact that you would get a completion notification once you completed one, likely by accident, might I add. I could not find a menu for these challenges in-game, like in the pause menu or in the main menu or anything. I don't know, maybe I'm just an actual brainlet and was not checking the right place. Or, you know, maybe just the accessible menu was not present during this flight. I don't know, personally. I couldn't find it. I'm either an idiot or it wasn't there. That's all I'm gonna say. But, as for the campaign itself, kind of to sum it up, it was good old-fashioned Halo 2 fun, as it was on the Xbox, as it is on the Xbox. The performance was about what I expected for a flight build of the game, and leads me to believe that all that needs to be done prior to a retail launch for this specific aspect of the game is just some polishing and minor performance fixes, bug fixes, tweaks, all those good things. You know, then again, that is what these flights are all about. Having the community help 343 Industries test their port and identify problems both big and small that need attention and fixing prior to the retail release. Halo 2 Anniversary is actually built off of the Halo 2 Vista PC port. I don't know if any of y'all knew this. I mean, it's not like super obvious, super common knowledge, but I thought I'd mention it. And also because this helps explain why the process of porting it back to PC seems to be a fairly quick one, and how the game is in this, you know, advanced, completed kind of air quote stage during this flight after such a short period of time since Combat Evolved Anniversary's completion and retail launch for PC. As a matter of fact, before I started recording this audio, I was watching a Halo streamer. Let's see, Rolly Rods, that's who it is. Shout out to Rolly Rods. I'm in your stream right now while I'm recording this, actually. But I was watching his stream, and he mentioned how he was surprised at how quick flighting for Halo 2 started after Halo CEA's launch. And I think the fact that Halo 2 Anniversary, at its absolute core, is Halo 2 Vista, essentially, kind of helps explain that a little bit, shed some light on it. This was the same for Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my Halo CEA flight video. If not, I'll mention it here. Halo CEA is built off of Gearbox's PC port from 2003. That's what 343 Industries used to build Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary for the MCC. However, the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary that came out in 2011, like an Xbox 360 standalone release, was built off of the Xbox version of Halo CE, which is weird because why didn't they just use that for the MCC version? I may be getting some of that information a little backwards. Kind of saying it out loud makes it seem like, am I really right? But I'm pretty sure I've had a conversation in someone's Twitch chat about this before, so I'm just going to leave it there. Campaign's pretty awesome. Now we're going to talk about the part that everyone's really, really excited for. So, let's do it. I just want to start by saying I know I rambled a little bit in the campaign version of this video, and I could re-record it and edit that out. But you know what? No, that's part of my personality. I get on a little side tangent, and I'm not going to try to put on a fake facade for YouTube, because I am an individual. So you know what? Now we're going to talk about multiplayer after I've wasted 20 seconds, just rambling again. But here we go. Here we have the portion of this video that most people will cite as the most important. Halo 2's multiplayer. Halo 2's multiplayer was a major source of the game's popularity and helped propel Halo's competitive viability into the limelight. Sure, Halo CE had a competitive aspect, but it was not a huge pull factor. Halo 2, however, was one of the first console FPS games to have Xbox Live capabilities, which led to the skyrocket of Halo's multiplayer popularity. And things that I've explained before, like button combos and all this other stuff, and a bunch of stuff I'm not going to go into, all had a hand in it. That was an extremely, extremely bare bones and simplified crash course on Halo 2's multiplayer popularity. There is so much more to it than what I just explained. But we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the wonderfully chaotic year of 2020. And we are now looking at the remastered and classic version of Halo 2's multiplayer being tested on the PC platform. As I've stated before, Halo 2 has already had a track record for the PC platform. Also, as I've stated before, this PC port of Halo 2 was the basis for Halo 2 Anniversary on the Xbox. Halo 2 Classic, or as I'll be referring to it as H2C, plays like how Halo 2 Vista kind of played back in the day, or Project Cartographer. However, we are now looking at a much more consistent and better frame rate, and of course all the progression systems and items included in the Master Chief Collection. Halo 2 Classic does have some small issues that I personally have experienced. However, I'm not saying that these are widespread issues or game ruining by any means, and as I've said before, they have been reported. I've noticed a bit of delay when using keys to do various actions such as switching weapons, which I have bound to Q, and the game not registering quick key presses as well as it did on a controller, for the Xbox. Let me give you an example. I would run over a weapon and try to swipe it up off the ground as I passed over it. Holding E sometimes would not register quick enough to scoop up the weapon before I passed over it, requiring me to double back to actually grab it. I know this is kind of a thing on controllers too, but it's hard to explain. It's just a feeling. The keys, it felt like there was a lot more input delay than like CE or Halo Reach on PC have. That's all I'm going to say. It just felt like there was more input delay for my keyboard. The hit registration for Halo 2 Classic is also not on par with original Halo 2, or even Halo 2 Classic on the MCC in my opinion. And tricks like super bounces do not work properly at all. I never really learned any super bounces, so this was not openly obvious to me while playing, but the inaccurate hit registration was something that I noticed in my first match right away. I thought I was like lagging or that my game was scuffed or something, but upon reading the known bugs article on the Insider support page, I realized that this was in fact the game and not my hardware or connection. Overall though, Halo 2 Classic H2C played like some sort of weird alternate version of Halo 2 Vista or Project Cartographer, which is not all too bad if I'm being honest, but it does definitely need some bugs to be squashed and quite a bit of refining to make it on par with not only the Xbox version of H2C, but also closer to OG Halo 2 for the optimal experience. Now, let us talk about Halo 2 Anniversary. I'm going to start this one off by saying that if you did not know, Halo 2 Anniversary regarding campaign is composed of both classic graphics and the updated Anniversary graphics. This is because both versions run on the same modified Halo 2 Vista build, of Halo 2. However, when we talk about multiplayer, Halo 2 Classic and Halo 2 Anniversary are entirely different and should not be used interchangeably. You can't say Halo 2 Anniversary when talking about Halo 2 Classic multiplayer because, it's not the same. I know most of you already know this, especially if you have, ever played the MCC, ever played either of those two games. But I still felt that it would be nice to clarify. I just wanted to throw it out there, because why not? Maybe not everyone knows. Halo 2 Anniversary's multiplayer, or H2A as I'll be referring to it as, is built from a modified version of the Halo 4 engine. And with that comes a completely different multiplayer experience compared to Halo 2 Classic. I want to start by saying that, and I know this is going to sound kind of brash at first, being an OG Halo fan and all, especially before I explain myself, but I personally enjoyed Halo 2 Anniversary more than Halo 2 Classic during this flight. The reason for this, before I get, the angry mob coming, the OG angry mob coming, is that I felt that H2A had a better level of refinement than that of H2C. Mainly that hit registration, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can really mess up your opinion on a game if the hit registration's off. H2A felt more fluid. The hit registration was more accurate, as I had just mentioned. And overall, since I did not really play much H2A on Xbox until recently, it was a nice change. Both games had a solid frame rate and had little to no performance issues, apart from the ones I already touched on, of course, in my experience. I will also note that when both H2A and H2C were selected in the match composer, I found myself connecting to more H2A matches than H2C. I actually had to remove H2A from the match composer and only queue for Halo 2 Classic H2C matches during my playtime to actually consistently find H2C matches, because it would be like 4 or 5 H2A matches for every H2C match, and so that was not something that I really wanted to do because I don't have a lot of time to play during these flights, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, and I'll touch on that at the end of the video because it's not important for the review. But all in all, I would say H2A definitely is closer to being ready for a retail release. I mean, sure, it'll need some polishing and fixing of bugs, some squashing going on called the Exterminators. There might have even been bugs that I didn't even notice, to be honest, because I didn't really notice any for H2A, that's why I didn't mention any. I mean, there definitely were some, because it's, a beta build essentially. But overall, it was good fun, and something that I am very, very excited for getting, considering that Halo 2 Anniversary is my least played multiplayer on MCC as of recently, and it felt good to play on PC. Halo 2 Classic, as I've mentioned before, I've been playing on PC since 2007, basically, when Halo 2 Vista dropped. So I've had a lot of experience with that, but getting some hands-on H2A on PC felt really, really nice. And that's basically all I have to say about multiplayer. So let's talk about the oddball. Let's talk about the new feature that was included in this flight. And I'm not talking about campaign challenges. Definitely not. So, here we are, the newest of the content to arrive on the PC platform. It's probably for the best that this aspect of the game is included prior to Halo 3's release. I mean, we know all the MLG Halo 3 kids are going to want to have their theater and have it working when Halo 3 drops on PC. For the most part, the theater mode on PC is pretty seamless actually. Once you kind of learn the controls and get the hang of it, everything feels natural. I'm surprised to say that the default mappings for the controls are comfortable enough to where you won't really need to change anything in that field. Using the mouse instead of a controller thumbstick gives you a whole lot more control over the camera and will only increase the finesse of clips recorded in theater, whether it be for a montage, a machinima, or whatever you find yourself using theater for. Regarding what I call theater accuracy or theater syncing, which is basically how alike a theater clip looks compared to the raw or live gameplay, we are absolutely solid in that respect. If you want to have an example of what bad theater syncing looks like, look at Halo 5 theater clips compared to raw or live clips. The player's crosshair is not on the enemy half the time, muzzle flash doesn't line up, hit markers don't line up. It looks almost like the player is cheating to an extent if you did not know that Halo 5's theater was trash, basically. However, in the raw or live gameplay, you can see, this is for Halo 5, you can see that the player is in fact shooting the enemy and everything is synced up and everything. So, that kind of gives you an idea of what bad theater syncing looks like. Regarding MCC on PC, the theater syncing, as I mentioned before, is up to par for sure. So everything looks crisp and legit and not like someone's hacking. Theater in its current state for the MCC is intuitive and feels natural on the PC platform. And I know it is something that the community has been patiently waiting for. It may need some polishing for some issues that I did not notice in my very short, limited testing, but I personally feel that it is just about ready for a retail release. That's all I really have to say about theater. I mean, it's a simple tool, and it works really well for it being in this beta phase during this flight. And I know I'm going to use it a little bit whenever it drops on retail MCC. So, there you go. Theater's awesome. Can't wait for it to hit the game. It's going to be dope. And now, we've come to the end. Now it is time for the summary. The conclusion to all my thoughts, my feelings, and my experience regarding this flight. The campaign. It seems like it's pretty much ready to ship if I'm being honest. There were only small bugs and glitches that could quickly be ironed out if their root is found in a reasonable amount of time. Granted, I don't have any experience with, debugging a game, so I don't know if that's even true. But I attribute this advanced, air quotes again, advanced state of Halo 2 Anniversary's campaign to the fact that a PC port of the game was used as the basis for Halo 2 Anniversary. Like I said before, Halo 2 Vista. Therefore, they are essentially porting a PC port back to the PC platform after porting and essentially renovating it, remastering it for the Xbox. That sums it up. That pretty much sums it up. I did notice some crashes and weird game-breaking glitches that I don't think I mentioned in the campaign section of this video, but they did not consistently happen in my case, and a couple of them are known bugs that 343 Industries is currently investigating as we speak. The campaign played well, and once it is all polished up and propped up on its pedestal, I am sure it will be just as enjoyable as it is on Xbox, and maybe even as fun as OG Halo 2, if 343 Industries continues to reinstate aspects of the original Xbox build, whether it be through changing the game's code or whatever they do. Like, they added back sword flying, that was a big thing for speedrunners. I'm not good at speedrunning, But I love watching speedruns. I love keeping up with that. So seeing the sword flying got added back was pretty cool. Super bounces are supposed to be added back, I'm pretty sure. And those are things that aren't really present in the Halo 2 Vista build that was used to create Halo 2 Anniversary. So they had to go out of their way and, I guess, fundamentally change the base code of the game or whatever. Again, I'm not well versed in any of this coding nonsense. But they had to do all that to add this stuff back, which is pretty cool, if you ask me. I think it's cool that they're taking the extra steps to add the stuff that we attribute to Halo 2 OG back into the game. But multiplayer. Multiplayer, on the other hand, is a little bit of a 50-50 regarding its current state. At least in my opinion, of course. Others may disagree, and they can do that. They have the right to do that. Halo 2 Classic felt off, so to speak. It currently has issues with hit registration and physics-related tricks not working properly. The game has an issue with micro-stuttering when using the unlimited frame rate option, and that's for the campaign, multiplayer, classic, and anniversary. You can't use unlimited frame rate or you will have micro-stutters like crazy. Which is unfortunate, but again, 343 Industries is aware of it, and they're looking at it, they're looking into it. However, apart from the glaring issues, the Halo 2 Classic, feels decent. And when polished and running on all cylinders, it will be quite an experience. Like playing Halo 2 Vista or Project Cartographer, but with the MCC's progression system and achievements and all those good things to chase. Halo 2 Anniversary, on the other hand, runs much better and is far closer to being ready for release than Halo 2 Classic. Halo 2 Anniversary had a greater weighting in the match composer, probably since it is most likely the least played multiplayer on average for the entire MCC, mainly because it was kind of the selling point of MCC. Halo 2 Remastered, Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer, and the MCC's track record up until about 2018 was god awful. So I have reason to believe that it is the least played multiplayer on average. And it is also the multiplayer that has no history with the PC platform at all. We have Halo 2 Vista and Project Cartographer for Halo 2 Classic, but nothing besides this flight for Halo 2 Anniversary. That being said, I am excited to play Halo 2 Anniversary on PC in the retail build of the Master Chief Collection. It ran leagues better on my PC than it does on my Xbox One S. So I find myself enjoying it a lot more with that increase in performance. I'm not getting as many frame drops. Just if you played Halo 2 Anniversary on anything that's not a 1X, it's not great. It's really not. Same with Halo 4, but we're not there yet, so I'm not going to go on about that. Lastly, Theater ran quite a bit better than I anticipated it would. The default map controls felt very natural and allowed for more finesse, which is good for those who use Theater to create content for YouTube or what have you. Mouse control for the camera also lends itself to much better and concise control over the camera, allowing for higher quality content to be created with much less work than that with a controller thumbstick. And also, less practice, I guess. So, it's good. Mouse is good, especially in a first-person setting, Mouse is the way to go. The Theater syncing is on par with what is to be expected from a Theater mode. It doesn't look like garbage and super out of sync. It is leagues better than Halo 5's, which looks like garbage and is out of sync, so, that's that. And it will be a nice addition once it goes live, for sure. I did not notice any bugs or glitches with Theater with my limited use of it, so I feel that, like the campaign, Theater is also ready to ship after some polishing. So that's awesome. That's really good. Very good. In regards to changing things or, adding things, there's not anything that I would really add or change. Apart from maybe adding Theater for Halo CE and Halo 2 Classic campaign and multiplayer. However, I do know that this is a major undertaking and is something that is not currently on 343 Industries' radar. So I do not have any hopes of this happening anytime soon. It'd be cool, because I've done a lot of crazy stuff in Halo 2 CE's Halo 2 CE. What is that? What is Halo 2 CE? But I've done some crazy stuff in Halo 2 Classics multiplayer and Halo CE's multiplayer while I wasn't recording footage, and Xbox Game Bar on my PC is bugging out, mainly because I alt-tab a lot and I keep forgetting to put my game in windowed mode, which apparently fixes the issue I'm having with Game Bar captures. But, yeah, so, you know, I can't record any of that stuff because either Game Bar is bugging out because I keep forgetting to change my settings, hoping that it will fix the issue, or because I'm not recording. And so having theater for Halo 2 Classic and Halo CE would be nice. It'd just be a quality of life improvement, really. But, you know, that's pretty much all I have to say regarding this flight. And I hope the information was either useful or entertaining or whatever. And I will, definitely, see you all in the next video. Oh, wait. I almost forgot to mention. I am sincerely sorry for the lack of uploads or anything recently, but being an essential worker during a global pandemic means much more work for me. So I have been insanely busy recently with much less free time. I do not work at a grocery store. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know, I work in the alcohol industry, so, you know. Alcohol will always be present, no matter the circumstances, so I will probably never get time off or furloughed or anything for pandemics because everyone's got to have their alcohol. But that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Peace!